So why don't we go over what you guys will include on your outline here, all right? So the first thing on an outline we're gonna need is your guys' introduction, okay? You'll want a hook or attention grabber. Remember, you might want to start with a quote, a fact, or a starting idea about the story. But if at all possible, try to avoid using a question, okay? Kind of just make your initial hook or grabber like a strong statement when you're beginning your essay, okay? Okay, and the next part of your introduction, you'll want to include a very brief or relevant plot summary of the story, include the play title and author, Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Okay, and the next thing, what we're going to want is a thesis statement. Can anyone in here tell me the definition of a thesis statement? Or what it might be? What do you guys think? Thesis statement. It's just your idea, right? It's like your argument that you're presenting is your thesis statement. Okay? And remember again to take a firm position. And remember also there are two different types of thesis statements that we're going to go over here one more time. Okay? We have the open thesis statement and the closed thesis statement. So the open thesis statement stays broad and doesn't list off the specifics of your body paragraphs. So we have two examples here that we wrote. We have Friar Lawrence is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. Okay, pretty plain and simple. And then the next one is if you're using multiple characters. Several characters share the responsibility for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. After that, you would probably go on to list the characters very briefly in your introduction. Okay? And then you also can do a closed thesis statement. This is more specific with the details. So it lists the focus of your body paragraph. So you're kind of giving the reader a preview of what they're going to be reading. So the first one we have here is once again kind of focusing on a singular character, Friar Lawrence. Friar Lawrence is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet due to the fact that reason 1, reason 2, and reason 3. So those would just be the reasons you come up with just to kind of plug them in right there. Okay. And then the next example is if you had multiple characters. So you could say several characters share the responsibility for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet, including the parents, Friar Lawrence, and Romeo himself. Okay. So the next part of our outline we're going to talk about is the body paragraphs. Okay. So you can see on the bottom here we have body paragraph 1. You can either use this if you're talking about multiple characters as the first character you're talking about, or the first reason if you're talking about one character overall in your paper. Okay. So do you guys remember what's the first thing we start off in with the body paragraph? Anyone know? Yes, sir.
Topic sentence.
That's it, man. Absolutely. So the first thing we're going to start off with is our topic sentence. Friar Lawrence is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet due to the fact that he has bushy eyebrows. You guys remember the movie? Those things were basically crawling off his head.